Yes.
And I wanted to throw it out there to the Lions. I would love to hear some great stories about Mother's Day and taking your mom to a game. What's your favorite sports moment that you shared with your mom or grandma or great-grandma or baby mama, wife, whatever? I would love to hear from the roasters here as we get ready for Mother's Day weekend because it is special. You brought up Dallas Braden, the perfect game with his grandma. We were just talking about that, the Positive Coaches Alliance that I hosted with Julie Foudy. You can catch it on NBC Sports Bay Area. I'm sure there's a rerun happening at some point. I mean, that was magical. Magical. Perfect game on Mother's Day. Considering what he went through with his family, Dallas Braden is one of the most sensational stories out here in the Bay Area.
That was against a very good Tampa Bay Rays team, I want to say, too. That was probably first in the AL East back in, 2009, 2010, whatever it was.
Remember got blast out of that perfect game, too.
Who?
Obviously, we all remember who it was.
Dave Kapler was the batter.
He was the batter? Are you serious?
He was the last out of that perfect game.
Well, I was going to say, the guy that threw it to first base was Cliff Pennington. Don't call him Chad, but Cliff Pennington. Very good defensive player, not a great offensive player. Derek Barton might have been on that team. Kevin Kuzminoff. Yeah, there's just some names on that A's squad.
Who's was on that A's?
Kuz.
Oh, so Padres then.
Bob Guerin. Bob Guerin was the manager.
So you want to call in right now. Now's the time to get in. Or the Xfinity mobile text line, 888-957-9570. What is your most memorable moment with your mom in terms of sports, a sports game? I just took my mom to the New York Knicks game, courtside. She was having the time of her life. She was going crazy. I've taken her to Niners games where she goes crazy. Sitting behind the plate at Oracle Park, watching the Cardinals rout the Giants. She had the time of her life. She was like, wow, look at him handshake. Wow, look at the home runs. Wow. So I've been able over the last few years to share some very memorable experiences with my mom at sporting events, and I know she talks about it to this day.
And that's awesome because it's not always like that. My mom doesn't. Like I talked about it earlier. Like she doesn't care about sports. Like she just doesn't. She'll pretend to be interested. She's from North Jersey. She grew up a Jets fan. She'll root for all the New York teams. She hates Philadelphia because it's North versus South Jersey. South Jersey's the Philly fans, but she pretends to. But she's not really like into. But the fact that I'm talking about it and something I'm passionate about, she was always grateful. And I will say this, she always tried to, and she had 10 kids. It was very hard to get to all the sporting events all the time, but she did her best to try to be there, whether I was playing in the Mustang League, whether I was playing some golf. Now, it's kind of hard to go watch that, but she even, put herself through that just to see all of her kids playing sports. So that's something I do appreciate. Always trying to get us out of the house and play sports, even if she wasn't interested in the professional viewing. That was really awesome.
That's a good story right there. I want to hear some great stories. Carter, I know your mom is close. She told you that you know more than me in this profession, and I respect it. Any big moments before we get to the calls here? 888-957-9570. Greatest moment you share with your mom in terms of sporting events or as a game she came to, attended?
Yeah, I got a cool one, actually. I went to the Warriors when they were at Oracle versus the Lakers when Kobe was still on the team and Baron Davis was on the team. And it was the game where Baron hit that three to win the game right at the end there and kissed his three fingers toward the crowd. And there was this guy the whole time sitting in front of my mom and I, and he kept yelling, "Pass it to Luke. He sucks." The whole game. And we thought it was the funniest thing ever. So
Walton?
That's what comes to mind for me.
Walton is taking his mom to the Reds game Sunday, right?
There you go.
Yeah, we've done, my mom and I have done a lot of Giants games on Mother's Day.
That's your go-to?
I don't know if it's a go-to, but I mean, it's an easy one because obviously we're both Giants fans. We both love going to the games and stuff like that. But if I had to pick a sports memory I had with Mom, it's going back to 2010 when she and I went to the All-Star game at Angel Stadium. Ooh. And that was a great time. We were out in right field, and we both, we love, when Brian Wilson was coming in, you could see his bright orange cleats all the way from out there. And, we're surrounded by all sorts of American League and Dodger fans. We're trying to figure out who do we high five when something good happens. And that was a really good time. And then she met someone after the game who was able to sneak us into this All-Star game after party. Because my mom just has this ability to just strike up conversations with people and make things happen. So she stuck us into this little All-Star game after party. And, we kind of had some fun there. So, yeah, my mom, we do a lot of games together. It's always a fun time.
There you go. You guys get a good pitching matchup this Sunday. Former A and former Yankee, not very good with them, but Frankie Montas, who's looking good this year, 3.55 ERA, 21 strikeouts against Kyle Harrison.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. This
That'll
is
be fun.
Friend of the podcast.
That's right. Your friend, Sam Lubman.
The Reds got the big boys going outside of Hunter Green. Albert today is really good. Andrew Albert. He's a solid pitcher.
Nick Lodolo.
Lodolo.
He's legit.
Yeah, go watch Lodolo. He's got some stuff.
You always got to worry about Ellie De La Cruz.
Yeah, no doubt about that. They always got a bad.
And you got Mason Black on the mound tomorrow for the Giants.
Oh, boy. Pierce Evans. Yesterday, Warner Dibbs mentioning the worst calls yesterday. Brought up 1990 Colorado, Missouri, the 5th down game. Yes. Eric Bieniemy was the running back on Colorado. They got 5 downs that game.
Wait, what?
That game was in Missouri. Yeah, look this up.
They're talking about the worst calls ever? They gave them another down?
They got another down. No, true story. Colorado against Missouri in the old Big 8. The old Big 8 conference with Colorado, Nebraska, Kansas, Kansas State, Iowa State. You have Missouri there. Who's the other team?
Is Iowa in there too?
Iowa's Big 10. Okay, they've always been Big 10. Okay. Always been Big 10. Nebraska, Oklahoma, Kansas, Kansas State, Iowa State, Missouri, Colorado. There was one more team in the Big 8. One more team.
Never a Wyoming or anything like that.
No, it wasn't Texas. No. I got to get the right
Southern Methodist? No,
it wasn't them. Wasn't SMU. Wasn't Baylor. We'll figure it out. Let's go to Jason in Wisconsin. Jason in Wisconsin. What's happening, Jason?
What's up, Jace?
What's going on, Bonte? What's up, Spadoni? I just got a quick one for Mother's Day regarding my mom. I don't know if y'all know, but Joe Pavelski used to play for the Sharks. He's from Stevens Point, Wisconsin, and I've been living in here since 2005. I used to play hockey as a kid, so my birthday's in June, and after Joe was done with the season, he'd come back to Stevens Point, Wisconsin, and have a hockey camp, a little development camp for all the kids. And I remember my mom came to me and told me that she got me into that hockey camp with Joe Pavelski for my 13th birthday. And we went. I had Joe Pavelski sitting right next to me. We skated on the ice. He shared some of my birthday cake with me. My family, and we're diehard Sharks fans, coming from my mom. And we brought Pepsi cans, rookie cards, a quilted blanket with all the NHL teams, San Jose Sharks pillow pet. And we had this man sign just about everything we had, and that's always going to be special to me. We got a picture from that day, and I'll never forget my mom doing that for me, and I'll always be grateful for everything she's shown me and making me a diehard Bay Area sports fan till the day I die. So
that's awesome.
Share that with my mom.
Hey, Jason, congratulations! You guys got the #1 overall pick.
Yes,
baby.
Go.
Tides are returning for the Sharks.
I'm ready.
Macklin Celebrini.
A long few years.
Let's go.
Macklin Celebrini, step on up to the San Jose Sharks. Good story,
the
Jason.
Great
really
white
good story.
Shark.
Let's go to. Oh, by the way, the other team in the Big 8, Oklahoma State.
Oh, okay.
That?
The Cowboys.
How did I forget
Anthony
that?
Slater's alma mater.
Yeah. Barry Sanders and company. Thurman Thomas. Kevin at Fremont. What's happening?
Hey, there's been a lot of moments over the years, but my favorite, or one of my favorites, was we usually celebrated Mother's Day before, and my mom's still living and alive and well, and I love her to death, and we have a lot of great talks and stuff now. But what I wanted this particular year, we tried to always celebrate Mother's Day the day before because the too crowded to get to restaurants. So we go ahead and we did that on this particular Saturday. We go and we have a great time and so on and so forth. Well, the next day, I was a season ticket holder at the time. So, and I called my mom. I had the opportunity to call my mom on the way out from the Coliseum as we were leaving, as my wife and I were leaving Dallas Brayton's perfect game.
Wow.
And so we literally, I said, I've got to share this with my mom. And so I called her from the Coliseum as we're walking out and said, Mom, because she knew I was going to the A's game because we had celebrated Mother's Day on Saturday. So I said, I'm calling you from the Coliseum, and I just saw a moment of history, Dallas Brayton's perfect game. And so we were able to share, and she goes, that's great, and everything. And so that's one of my favorite moments.
That's an awesome story.
That's perfect games, man. Like, that's
perfect
the thing.
Game. I've never been to a no-hitter.
You don't see it. No. Well, it's funny. I had, back when the A's were actually, trying to get people to the ballpark, they had this little pass thing. I forget the name of it. It's slipping me right now. But you can go to a bunch of games. You can play like pay a prorated rate. All the food's cheaper and stuff like that. And one of the tickets we had paid for was the Reds, funny enough, coming to town and playing. And it was Mike Fiers versus whoever.
Oh, yeah,
and the game was delayed because the lights wouldn't turn on. Like, there was something busted in the transfer. It's the Coliseum. Something's always messing up. So they had a delay. The game didn't start until like 8:30 or something. And then like at 11:30 at night or almost midnight, Mike Fiers throws a no-hitter, and they sent us in our mail a commemorative ticket. Like, there you go. You went to the game, and you get this. So I have a commemorative ticket of a game I never went to of Mike Fiers throwing a no-hitter.
Wow.
So there you go.
Go figure.
Signed, too.
Signed. I've never attended a no-hitter, man.
Yeah.
Gotten close a couple times, just has not
happened. We got a bunch of them low-key here in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
I almost had my first last year when Kyle Hendricks took the Giants hit list into the ninth inning.
That's right.
I'm sitting there in the press box just having a meltdown, Bonte Hill style. I am having a meltdown just because, I don't want to see this be my first no-hitter. Come on, not like this. Because, everyone around you is, excited. Ooh, no-hitter.
But at that point, if we get to the 8th inning, and your team's on the opposite end of it, I'm like, the hell with it. Give me the no-hitter.
Oh, no,
I want to see history.
I don't go that. No, I want to see history, not at my team's expense.
That happened last year.
I'm a Giants fan first and foremost.
Not to cut you off, Sam, that happened last year. Domingo Germán for the Yankees doing it at the Oakland Coliseum. First perfect game in over 12, 13 years happened June 28th in 2023. The 24th perfect game in Major League Baseball history.
First since Felix is in 12.
Correct.
Right?
And also it was the A's had the longest streak going 30 plus years without getting no hit. And then the perfect game happened. Obviously the A's were atrocious last year. So.
Wow. By the way, got a couple on the text line before we get back out to the lines. Sharing your favorite Mother's Day memories with your moms in terms of sporting events, whether she attended one of your games, whether she took your game, because a lot of moms go out there and take their kids to games. Well, Brentwood out there, when I was in Brentwood about a month ago for my little brother's birthday party, Brioni and all those little leaguers, and you see the moms holding the gear and being there, have the scorebook in their laps and taking the score of the game. A lot of moms go out there and they're with their kids every single day. So any memories of your mom taking you to a sporting event, taking you to a game, watching your game, watching games at home on the couch or whatnot, 510. Mine is getting to golf with my mom every Sunday. That's pretty cool. Golfing with moms on a Sunday. Mother's Day at old Golden Gate Fields from the 925. Horse racing, very reserved, classically defined women went berserk for the ponies. You put a fast one on my bed by putting a bet on each horse at the last race to wage it in this ultra-competitive phase to make it even better. Her name is Winifred.
That's great.
That's awesome.
We did the Dollar Day, where they had the Mother's Day event when they had the dollar mimosas and all that sort of stuff. Way back when with my mother-in-law, Diana Ingersoll, we went out there and it was a really good time. Yeah, Golden Gate Fields. Awesome. It's going to suck that it's going to be closing down.
Yeah, it is. Let's go to Danker in the city. Danker, what's happening, man? You're on the roast.
What's up, boys? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Sir.
Wally Pips Spadoni. Doing a good job.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
For Wally Pitt me one day.
Appreciate you. So I think definitely my favorite moment in B, so back in the day at Candlestick, we had tickets forever. And when they shifted the tickets, the seating, they kind of messed ours up. So we had a few in the mid row and a few in the front row of the upper bowl. And so the last game of Candlestick, Steve Young is speaking. It's all on video. And I told my mom to come down to the front row where we were because she gave us those seats to enjoy it more. And as Steve Young's speaking, they're panning the camera. And as he says, it's all because of you, thank you to the fans, they show my mom on camera. It's pretty awesome.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That's my favorite moment. And yeah, man, we're all blessed. Look for those little blessings, and if our moms aren't with us, I'm sure they're watching down, and we all have those people we care about. So have a great one, guys.
Absolutely. And those that aren't your biological mother, but had that role, that are your mother for better or for worse, your aunts, your sisters, stuff like that had to raise you and stuff like that. Not everyone had an easy life, right? No, not everyone had the perfect, your mom or your dad. Some of you just had one of those people in your lives. So thinking about those people as well.
Wow. How about this 650? Xfinity Mobile text line.
And the stepmoms,
took me to the Twins A's game in 1968, in which Catfish Hunter threw a perfect game. Still has the program.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Catfish Hunter, all-time nickname.
And it
by
could
the
be
way.
grandmas too. It could be grandmas. Could be great grandmas. Could be baby mamas, moms. So that's a lot of fun there with Mother's Day. By the way, I want to send a special rest in peace. You remember Corey Homicide Williams? And won tournament. And one mixtape tour.
The name I remember, yes.
He started covering Australian professional basketball, the NBL. We had him on one time. We had to connect with him through the landline. But Corey Homicide Williams was huge because we were talking about Justinian Jessup. Remember Justinian Jessup with the Warriors? We needed insight on him. Yes. So we bring in Corey Homicide Williams, but apparently he just passed away. Born in 1977, man. very young, just 47 years old. He's an icon in the NBL. He took pride to cover the Australia League. Will come back to New York in the offseason. He was part of the N1 mixtape tour.
Well, talking about never giving up your dream of playing professionally, this guy played everywhere. He played Dakota Wizards, Club San Carlos, the Brooklyn Kings, Stockholm. He was playing in Jersey. He's playing in Sioux Falls. He's playing all around the G League. He's going international. Like, that's a guy, NBL, as you mentioned, the most valuable player in 2010, all NBL first team in 2010. Like, D-League champion in 2007. Talk about never giving up on your dreams to play professionally. Even if it doesn't happen in the NBA, I don't scoff at people going overseas and stuff like that. You hear the stories where they're quote-unquote busts in the NBA, but going and making like Marbury, right? Going overseas. Jimmy Fredette going overseas and making a living over there. That takes tremendous, first of all, pride in yourself and in your game and ability. And also just, loving the game of basketball. So respect there and rest in peace.
Enter the Draymond during my mother's final year. We stayed up every night watching the Olympics basketball game when they were on at midnight.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
It's always fun game.
So my grandma wouldn't watch sports with me. She would just do puzzles. And so she would set up a TV for me in the kitchen next to her room. So I had to watch games there. Rarely did I get to watch sports in her room. But when I did, it was always the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
Because she loved the granddaddy of them all. So I get chills whenever I think of that's why the Rose Bowl is so special to me, because that was the only game she would watch. Wouldn't watch baseball, wouldn't watch basketball, was the Rose Bowl game.
That's
and
everything.
Yep, that's it.
That's nice. I love that.
Tecmo Bowl. They're talking about Tecmo Bowl as a child. Tecmo Bowl was
You know what I was thinking about? Because real quick, you brought up video games, and I was like, you know what I should have told T.O. Terrell Owens? We had him on earlier in the week. Find out on the Odyssey app or YouTube. Hall of Famer. I was like, I wanted to tell him so bad that ESPN 2K5, when he was on the cover as the Eagles, still the greatest football game of my lifetime. It was $20. It was affordable. Yeah. You can go get it at GameStop or EB Games back then. And I still have the copy to this day, and I wanted to tell him.